sounds so good.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Chucko and Cousin Matto, episode actually 36, I believe, is this one.
Sure.
Again, for more fun on the podcast. This is We Need to Talk About It. I'm your host, Chuck Oliveris. Matt, of course, joining us. All of you should know him by now. We made
how are you?
There. What is it, 2 weeks ago? I think it's been 2 weeks.
Yeah.
We came up to Sacramento. He's up in Sacramento in the Matty O bar. And that was a blast. That was so cool having a live audience with my aunt and his wife and our friend Katie and so forth. So here we are doing another one. Nobody seemed to want to watch me last week. I don't know. I thought there was some funny stuff on there. My voice was really bad because the air up here was so bad.
It sounded stupid. I hated it.
It was horrible. I could not get a clear throat, but I had shit I wanted to talk about. So, you know.
What's in that cup?
It's just a mocha. Yeah. Just a nice.
I don't like that. Let's never do this sober again.
A nice mocha. Speaking of sober, so I want to start out by sharing this with everybody. So my week was very interesting, very busy. The owners of our bar, the Riverview Grill and Bar up here in Three Rivers, California, outside of Sequoia National Park, they decided to pay to take us all whitewater rafting. So
why it got to be whitewater? Why can't it just be water rafting?
No, it's whitewater.
That's right through shit, man.
Our river is really high right now, so it was really rocking. And I had done it a couple of years ago. Have you rafted before?
No.
Never?
No, I'm beige, dude. That's white people stuff. What are you doing out there?
Okay, well, I'm going to show you right now. So here we are on the short bus with our seizure helmets on, heading out to load our rafts in the water and stuff. That's the whole work crew from the bar there. And here's a shot of me. You can see me hold my hand up there in the back and stuff. And they called it Staff Appreciation Day. And it was a really freaking blast of a day. There's some friends of ours going over a rock there. And my buddy Amakaya runs this company. If you're
what?
Huh?
What's your buddy's name?
Amakaya.
Dude, I had that once. Took like 2 weeks to get over it.
Yeah, he's got a very unique name, but that's his company, Mountain Descents, their whitewater rafting trips daily. You've got a few more weeks you can raft here in Three Rivers, California. If you're heading up to Sequoia National Park, check out Mountain Descents. We had a blast. So, and you were talking about doing the shots and all that kind of stuff. So when we completed the rafting trip, which I'm really old now, so I was sore for 3 days, my legs, my arms, right? But I didn't go out of the raft this time. Last time I went out twice.
Progress.
Go out of the raft. I did good. And then we went back to the bar, and the bar was closed that day to the public. So the owners basically they basically said, let's do karaoke on the smoking deck. And with the whole crew and everybody, including the rafters, we went back there and got shit-faced. I mean, they literally said, you guys can drink as much and of anything you want at the bar. Well, you can imagine what that turned into.
You had some top shelf items, I hope?
We had, they had the Don Julio, the 70, the Anejo. They had it all out there. And they were literally feeding shots. And we don't typically do tequila. So let me just say, it was a long day. We got very drunk. What were you going to say?
Yeah, that's why you're drinking mocha. I get it.
Yeah, and it's a Memorial Day weekend, and everyone has taken over our town.
Mocha Day weekend.
Yeah, there you go. But in my town right now, I went out. I did a job this morning, came home, and it's mayhem in our town. It's Memorial Day weekend in a river town, so you can't get into the store. You can't park anywhere.
It's like that everywhere. I mean, everywhere I went on the train, there's just people on the tracks, next to the tracks, everywhere.
Right?
What's that?
But don't most people work on Tuesday, right? After the Monday holiday?
I assume so. I don't have a regular schedule like that. That's what I hear.
I have a bar shift tomorrow morning, and that's Monday. So it could be heinous or it could be chill. I don't know. It's yet to be seen.
Okay. I think you're going to do quite well.
I think I'll probably make some money. That'll be good.
How much?
I don't
Give me
know.
a number. Give me a number.
On the next one. Hey, it's hit and miss in bartending. You either make bank or you make shit. You know, there's no in between most of the time.
Number one rule: you got to have a squeegee because you're not gonna make a dime without a squeegee.
Not a squeegee. I think George taught us all that on Seinfeld. Yeah. You know what time it is? It's time for pop news.
Hey.
Once in a while.
Pop music. Pop music.
Yeah. Yeah. Get down.
Where do you get this music from?
You don't remember this song? You don't remember the pop?
No, but like your intro music is always very unique.
It's different. You mean the intro to that or the actual podcast?
The actual podcast.
Oh, the actual podcast I change all the time. What you heard today was a backing track of Post Malone's Chemical song.
Oh, okay. All right.
You didn't know that.
I didn't.
So this is super, super cool. And I'm sure you may or may not know about this yet. So I've got this little thing. I'm going to read it here from my side, but this is pop news. Coming up in pop news this week, there's a lot going on with Bruce Springsteen. I'm sure everybody knows about the between him and Trump because he, at his concert, said a bunch of stuff. But here's something that happened at the Kennedy Center Honors. Bruce Springsteen stepped up with nothing but his guitar, a rough around the edges voice, and a quiet fire burning inside. No flashing lights, no backup band, just raw, honest truth. As he sang Bob Dylan's The Times Are Changing, it wasn't just a performance, it was a promise, a feeling that shook the room to its core. The air went heavy with silence. Some wiped away their tears, others clutched their chest, feeling every word that he hit. So this is really interesting because he also did a thing with Chris Stapleton here, as you can see on the screen. Yeah. And he came out at Stapleton's concert. Nobody knew he was going to do it, and him and Stapleton did a version of Adele's what is it? Never mind, I'll find someone like you and all that song. Oh, yeah. And people were blown away. It said that people were crying and it was just heavy. So it's like really the rock world is like politically, emotionally involved in the whole administration right now and speaking out. Besides Robert De Niro, of course,
I was just going to say, well, once you're a celebrity, you're obligated. We have to know your opinion on politics.
Because people get pissed about that.
Yes, that's why I'm being sarcastic. Like, I don't care what you think. Like,
right.
Just because you're a celebrity. Oh, but I have a microphone. This is like Adam Sandler in The Wedding Singer. Well, I have the microphone and you don't. So you will listen to everything I have to say.
As I have this one here right now. So exactly. It's like when you're on your Facebook page and you say something and a bunch of people get on your shit about it. And you're like, hey, this is my fucking page.
Right. You know? I saw the band Disturbed years ago. And the singer, they put on a great show, but the singer would take in between every song, he'd have to say something like political. And it got to the point where the crowd was chanting, next song. Like, just perform. We came here to see you perform music, not listen to what you have to say.
You're speaking?
What's that?
Who are you talking about?
Oh, the band Disturbed.
Oh, Disturbed, yeah.
Yeah. They're amazing live, but it's like every single chance he gets in between songs, he's got to say something. And it got to the point where the crowd was chanting, next song. Like, just play, man.
Likewise with Aaron Lewis from Stained. My neighbor Ryan, my buddy, is a huge fan of his, and my buddy Chad had a concert ticket to it, and he took Dalton to the concert, and Dalton told me, I love Aaron Lewis, I love his voice, I like to hear him sing, but he hardly sang. All he does is talk politics the whole time. And a lot of the crowd walked out because they're like, it's just sing. We came to hear you sing. You know, and he preaches a lot, I guess.
Yeah, it happens. Yeah.
So that's interesting because you say, you know, like a lot of people don't like celebrities to say anything. I mean, Donald Trump supposedly actually tweeted or something, I hate Taylor Swift on his social media thing the other day. And I was like,
She's still in the spotlight from him.
Oh, no, he doesn't know that's just, it's helping her. It's not, So also I brought up last week, you guys, I'm super excited about this. Some of you may not be. This movie was made in 1975. The movie Jaws is being re-released into theaters on the big screen. One of my favorite movies ever with three of my favorite actors. I'm super excited. And I think if you've never seen this film, you need to go see it on the big screen because it is pretty freaking scary even today as a movie. And I was obsessed with this movie. I read everything about how they made it, everything about the special effects. You know, we all knew about the mechanical shark, Bruce. He kept breaking down. They had a lot of shit happen when they were filming this out there.
Didn't the shark used to like move on its own or something and freak everybody out? Like nobody was controlling it or something? They thought it was possessed?
A couple times, the cameramen that were down in the water that Spielberg had down in the water, the shark was moving toward him, and a couple of the guys holding the cameras just were so scared they dropped the cameras and swam to the top because it looked too real for them.
That's awesome.
Three main characters there. You got Quint, you got Richard Dreyfuss, of course. Young Richard
Dreyfuss, yeah.
Yes. And then one of my favorite actors, Roy Scheider, right there. But this was a great movie, you guys. So look at this picture. I'm going to show you this for you guys on YouTube. And now look at this one of them.
What? Why are they all wet?
I think the shark got to him.
I don't know.
That's a great picture. First of all, the story is, you guys, that what's his name, Dreyfuss and Robert Shaw, who played Quint, did not like each other, and it kind of
wasn't he like a raging alcoholic?
He was, and that's what I was going to say. Shaw was drinking most of the time, and then he would poke at fucking Dreyfuss, and Dreyfuss would poke back at him. And the story is that Spielberg let it go because it was help. The characters didn't like each other in the movie anyway. But here they are together and probably drunk off their ass. But
I don't think this is real. I think
no, that's real.
Yeah, no. I think you've been duped again by artificial intelligence.
You know, I'm really sick of that AI stuff. I keep getting it on my phone.
I think every time we do this, you show me something you think's real. I'm like, yeah, no.
Oh, I don't like it, especially where you can make yourself kiss somebody.
They just got all wet for this picture. I don't think so, dude.
Jaws, they were in the water.
No, they never were in the water.
Matt, that baby had two heads. I saw that Inquirer.
Well, that's true. I believe that.
Who used to say that? Nana, our grandmother.
It was about Bat Boy. Remember Bat Boy?
She believed it. And she had stacks of Inquirer in her living room. And we all as kids would go through them, and Nana would be like, no, that baby had two heads. No, ma.
So, back in the day, anything that was written in a magazine or whatever, you thought was supposed to be real. And now we're in the era now where we have the internet. And now a lot of people think everything that's on the internet. Like that picture you just showed me.
I know. I thought this was funny, though. Check this out. It says, my biggest fear as a kid after watching Jaws. And that's exactly how I felt every time I swam in my grandmother's pool. I felt like there was a big-ass shark that's going to come up and eat me.
Did you know you have a better chance of being struck by lightning than bit by a shark?
This is true, but there are some shark bites.
Yeah, but they just take a bite and they swim off.
Fuck that. Remember when I
No, it's true. There's too much acid in your body. We taste gross. They take a bite. They don't like it.
I'm going to see Jaws in the theater again, and I'm going to love it. But here's what I want to ask you. Did you look at this picture closely? Do you see who's back there on the fence?
Well, I see someone's on the fence, like laughing about it.
With the rifle that he shoots the shark with.
Oh, nice. Yeah. It's a little small piece. I could tell he had the rifle.
Now, you're not going to get me on this one, and I'm not going to tell you that it's AI, because I know it's not, but I think it's hilarious because it says greatest selfie ever, and it's a guy who looks like Richard Dreyfuss with Quint being chopped in the background on the boat, and I think that's hilarious.
Well, now there is AI pictures now where it is the actual actor, but they've changed the background.
Right.
And it'll be like, oh, remember this selfie? And it's from like something from like 1965 with like Michael Jackson and Quincy Jones or something like that.
What about those weird ones where they show like Justin Timberlake young, Justin Timberlake with himself now, Justin, and it keeps changing, and they're like they age, and
but
weird.
The weird thing is,
really weird.
It's again artificial intelligence. Like, why don't you just show old picture, medium picture, now picture?
Well, and now they have a thing on Facebook or something I saw that says you can take your old pictures of your grandparents and stuff and bring them to life, and it's kind of an AI thing like that. And that's kind of creepy and weird.
So I did one yesterday.
Yeah,
It was
you
like a
did.
Snapchat filter. I should have sent it to you because we could talk about it right now. But it's supposed to be like your graduation photo, and it morphs you into this. And this thing that it made me was like so ridiculous. I had these huge glasses on and curly hair for some reason. Like that's not what I looked like in 1998. Sorry.
That's what it made you when you put it
It's
in, or
supposed to be
whatever.
like your graduation photo. So it like de-ages you, and then it like its interpretation of what it thought you would look like.
Dude, I don't want to do any of that unless it makes me look, young again.
I
That's
looked
all
kind
I'm
of cool.
saying.
It's just I looked nothing like that in 1998.
Right.
So,
Girl, that's not what I look like.
yeah, I believe I had like orange hair.
Right. Finishing up with pop news, people. I got to bring this up because I've been seeing it all week, and I'm going, "What the hell is going on?" But what is wrong with Britney Spears? Have you guys seen any of this? So
I'd say they're getting worse, but the worst one was with the knives. Did you see that one?
knife one was weird. There's a
Yeah.
weird one though. I saw one this week where she's like in her house in the hallway, and she's all humping the wall and doing weird, and then shaking her head back. And I'm like, "What are you doing, girl?" And then I see all these all week. Look at this one.
Yeah, she's been exposing herself a bit though, and that's okay.
Yeah, you like that, don't you?
I don't mind either.
Here's the thing. In this one, it says this is her Instagram, and it was a reel, and she was going, "Look, my fingers, they're so little. They're so little. It's weird." She's just weird, you guys. I don't know what's going on with her.
I believe they call
Completely
that
crazy.
mental illness. Yeah.
Listen, okay, so here's the thing I was going to say about this. I've been watching all the shit on Bieber on social media too. He's lost his fucking shit. Married Haley, had that baby, and all of a sudden he looks like a crackhead wearing baggy clothes, covering his face, yelling at the media. I think these kids were just so damaged from their fame that they're losing their shit now. And it's super sad if you think about it.
But they can be revived. Look at Macaulay Culkin. He was super weird, and then he married Brenda Song, and now he's like an upstanding citizen.
I'm going to agree with that. And he's, first of all, he's got more money than God. And she's a beautiful
God has
lady.
no
They have a
money. He
kid.
doesn't need money. He's God.
God doesn't need money.
No, he's
Then what are
God.
we giving all that money to the churches for?
Well, so the priests can drive around a Mercedes Benz. They can have a nice potluck for everyone. That kind of thing.
I don't want to see a priest in a Mercedes Benz. It's like when I saw
Well,
Dr.
it's an old Mercedes Benz. It's not brand new, but it's still clean.
I talked about it on one of my old Confessions of a Celebrity Bodyguard podcast when I was at Kuwait Delta. I was at fucking
You're at the hospital?
I was at Cedar Sinai Hospital in Los Angeles being seen. That's where I saw Corey Haim, Jones and stuff. But anyway, that day, Dr. Phil pulled into the little thing, got out of his car, and his car was a fucking top of the line Ferrari thing, sports car thing, and his bald ass got out. And I thought, I don't want to see Dr. Phil in that. I want to see Dr. Phil in a Camry. I kept saying, this is
I'm thinking
ridiculous.
Volvo, very reliable. Yeah.
Dude.
Super safe.
That's exactly what he needs to be in. A Volvo. My
You're
old neighbor
fat
had
because
a
you want to
Volvo.
be fat. Oh,
Goddamn
Dr. Phil,
right.
calm down, man. Like,
we got a lot of good stuff this week from social media because things are stupid and funny, and I love it when we can do this. So we're going to jump into
shit on social media. Love
on
it.
social media. Brought to you by We Need to Talk About This. All right, so here's the first one. This is kind of funny. I'm going to let Matt take it because he sent this to me.
Oh, yeah. So for those of you who can't see this is an omelet with a picture those little green army men that we used to play with as kids on top of it, and it says, "Papa, is everything okay? You've barely touched your Viet omelet." It's like they even put in like broccoli for like shrubbery and maybe some salsa for blood and guts. Like, very clever.
I think it is salsa, and I think you're right. The shrubbery is broccoli. But what's funny about this is when you first sent it to me, I'm like, what is that green shit on the omelet? And then I had to look real close, and I'm like, oh, it's those little green army men. That's crazy.
I know some of them you don't look at long enough to understand, and then I have to clear them up for you. It's okay.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's an age thing. So this one is it's not really funny, but I'm sharing it with you because this was my favorite toy as a kid. Every little boy wanted the Evel Knievel motorcycle thing. You'd put him on that thing and wind that thing up, and he would shoot out of there, and you could make ramps and stuff like that. And at that time, Evel Knievel was jumping the Grand Canyon and doing all kinds of crazy shit. In fact, I think there was supposed to be a movie. Somebody was going to play him, and I'm surprised they haven't done it yet. Evel Knievel.
Well, they did make.
Do you remember?
Did you ever see the movie? What's it with Andy Samberg, where it's kind of like Evel Knievel trying to be?
Yes.
What's it, Hot Rod? I love that movie, dude. There's so many people in it that were like kind of just not that well known yet, but I think it's hilarious.
I like Andy Samberg though, so anything he does, he cracks me up.
Bay Area boy, Berkeley.
Movies. Last night we binged The Kingsman, the first one and the second one, and I forgot how much I love those movies and how many people are in them.
So we're doing Mission Impossibles right now.
Perfect.
Because, the new one just came out.
Yes.
And then I realized there's a couple that I haven't seen. I don't think I've ever watched them in order.
Two.
But oddly enough, the second one, I had a fond memory of you and I seeing it at the Chinese Grauman Theater in Hollywood.
Which one was it?
It was the second one.
Oh, okay.
His hair's long and yeah. It actually wasn't not that good, but I remember just being like totally enamored by being at the Chinese Grauman Theater in Hollywood.
I actually saw St. Elmo's Fire there with my sister Teresa. It's funny because Tom Cruise is everywhere right now promoting that film, and what he's doing is actually going into movie theaters.
I just thought about it.
Are you serious?
I said, because everybody thinks because of the Scientology thing that he's got to be weird and like not a nice guy. I'm like, no, I've heard so many times how nice and how normal he is. Like years ago on the Adam Carolla show, I used to listen to it, every single day. And Adam, all he wants is an opportunity to talk shit about someone or something. And he was talking about
Adam. I know Adam.
But he came to Jimmy Kimmel's house on Sunday because everybody used to go there to watch football, and Kimmel couldn't make it because he was doing like the Grammys or whatever. But he puts out food for all his boys, and Tom Cruise came, and everyone said, "Oh, Tom was there, huh?" And Adam said, "Honestly, he played with my son the whole day, and he was like the nicest guy. He's like, I can't even say anything about him. Like he's just too nice." And I thought, if he's saying that, he's got to be really nice.
Well, when I worked at Warner Brothers and he was doing the Last Samurai movie there, everyone said, hey, when you go on the back lot, if he's out there, they said you're not allowed to look him in the eye. You're not allowed to do this or that. It was completely the opposite of that. He wasn't like that at all. He bought coffee trucks in for the crew and stuff. He was super cool.
The whole thing about people not looking him in the eyes has been dispelled. What that was is whatever movie he was filming at the time, the extras were so like, fanboy over him that they all kept looking at him, and they had to put out things
they
like,
couldn't stop looking at him.
Stop looking at him in the eyes, and then it turned into this whole thing like he says never look him in the eyes. Like, no man, he ain't like that.
I've been loving the reels coming in on Instagram and stuff of him going into the theaters promoting the Mission Impossible. He's sitting there eating popcorn, and all the kids that work at the counter are all gathered right in the same. It was awesome, dude.
I love the one kid that goes, "I told you he was cool like that. Then you come say hi." Like.
And didn't he say something like they were talking about his stunts? Because, of course, he does all that crazy shit.
Right.
And he turns around and he tells them, he points to the poster and he goes, where do you see that one? Yeah, that's the one in this one. No, he was cool, man. I thought it was really cool. So fuck that. Fuck the haters, right? Fuck the haters on Tom
I won't
Cruise.
even use that term haters because it's just stupid.
So, I'm pretty sure that this next stupid thing from social media was sent to you or sent to me from you. And it is an Oompa Loompa up on a curb leaning into the car. And it says, an everlasting gobber stopper, $50. If you want scrunch, I can't even say it. Say it.
Scrumdiddlyumptious. At the end, it's $100.
Now read it over again.
An everlasting gobstopper is $50. And if you want scrumdiddlyumptious at the end, it's $100.
You still kind of messed up the scrumdiddly. I can't even say it.
Scrumdiddlyumptious. I got that spot on.
That shit's hilarious because I grew, I lived in San Francisco and I used to see the hookers leaning into the cars all the time. Like
Our
that.
cousin Rob dressed up like a Oompa Loompa years ago.
Sorry, buddy. I didn't mean for him to say that.
No, but he dressed up like a Oompa Loompa for Halloween years ago, and it was like
Our cousin
the
Rob used to
best.
go out and talk to hookers.
I didn't say he talked to hookers. I just said he dressed up like a Oompa Loompa, and it was an amazing costume. Period.
I know. Don't be getting our cousins.
He never
and
offered
shit.
a scrumdiddlyumptious.
Especially
that I know of.
like Rob. I think you might have sent me this one too. I'll go ahead and let you describe this too.
Oh yeah, this is an advertisement for like a barbecue joint, and I think somebody has dyslexia because it says cookout. It's the name of the spot, and it says Dookie Cough Shakes, caramel fudge, banana peach. I believe that's supposed to say cookie dough rather than Dookie Cough Shakes.
Okay, so the misspelling thing, you wonder how many kids actually learned anything in school or got an education. That's when you send that one kid out from the fast food joint, go change the sign. He probably put Dookie on purpose.
But no, it's literally just the D and the C are backwards. Like that's a dyslexic thing.
I think it's AI. You don't understand this AI stuff.
You're right.
I'm just
I've
saying.
been duped again. I've been duped
Trying
again.
to tell you. See, you're talking shit to me.
But have you ever seen those things that the spelling's wrong and it
Yes.
says, "Do you understand this?" And you totally, completely understand everything that it said. Like that's kind of weird, right?
It is weird.
Because you'll go back in and go, "Whoa, why did I think that said that?" But it did. But so weird,
But it really said this.
right? Very interesting.
A lot of folks from the 60s, popular band, this was something stupid on social media, and yet so funny at the same time. So it's Simon, it's supposed to be Simon and Garfunkel. Of course, it is Simon, but then you got Samuel L. with a big afro, and it says Simon and Motherfunkel. And look at his face. I think that's from like, what's that movie where he takes the chains and ties up Christina Ricci?
Yeah, I was just gonna say that's definitely from that movie with Christina Ricci.
Yes. Because Sam's,
Yeah,
oh, that's what I wanted to tell you too. So I just mentioned to you the second Kingsman we watched last night. Samuel L. Jackson's in it, right? He's the bad guy. But through the whole movie, he talks with his tongue like this because he I guess his character was supposed to have that. I told Dalton, I just can't get used to he's the bad guy, but he's, you know what I mean? It was weird.
I feel like that's one of those things where like an actor kind of gets a big head and they're like, I gotta do something different. And they come up to the director like, oh, I think I'm gonna start talking like this. And it's just for this character. Like, what do you think about if I just start talking about it a little bit like Mike Tyson? And the director's like, I mean, you're Samuel L., so sure.
You tell him no, motherfucker. Yeah, no, that shit's funny though. And I do like him, but I had a hard time. And plus, his wardrobe in that movie, he's got like a ghetto hat all fucking crooked and the furs and stuff, but he's also supposed to be like the main, you know. It's
Now,
a weird
what
deal.
is the ghetto hat?
Oh, you're going to do it? No, you're not going to get
just
me
go
down that
ahead.
rabbit hole.
Let me know.
Like the kind of hats that people in the ghetto wear to be G and whatever.
All right. Does it have a
that
kangaroo
acceptable?
on it?
Is that it? They're telling me that's acceptable. They're saying it's okay.
All right. I'm gonna let it slide.
Hey, you should get a G hat. Hey, listen, back in the day when you were going to go with your girl somewhere or something like that, you know, here's a new little fuck shed that they're selling now. Look at this. On this day, April 18, 2024. Wait, I'm trying to read what it says on the front doors. So
I haven't figured that one out, but it's the B-52's lesser known follow up to Love Shack.
to
And
Love
it's the
Shack.
fuck shed, baby, fuck shit.
And it's that,
Baby, that's where it's at.
it's your typical metal shed that y'all seen in the backyard. In fact, our grandparents had one in the backyard. So my cousin
I'm
Steve.
pretty sure we both helped them fix it and build it.
Yeah, he changed into a Speedo in there and then come out and try and look better than all the other little kids.
Ta-da!
I hope he doesn't watch. You don't watch
I hope
this,
he
do you,
does.
Stevie?
I hope he does.
That's funny, though. The fuck shed. And then, of course, this little jewel was nice. When I say have a nice day, remember that the fucker is silent. Yes. People are hateful and mean, huh?
Yeah. Well, at work, we have this thing where, like, if you're in the middle of doing something on the radio, but you need to respond, you just hit click, click, like, yeah, I got it.
Oh no, yeah.
But 3 clicks means fuck you too. And only so many people know that. So if someone's like, hey, you know, you got to go do that before you do this, it's a click, click, click. Like, oh, okay. Like, oh, I understand.
That's funny. Although you did not originate that, security
No.
people have been doing that. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So you train guys. Actually, it's just a radio thing, isn't it? It's what
Yeah.
we
That's
call.
just regular radio etiquette.
That's it. Etiquette. That is the key word. You are correct, sir. I'm not going to read this one to you folks. I'm going to let him do it because he sent it to me, and I'm still
You must have
trying
big
to
words.
figure it out.
See, I knew you wouldn't get it. It says, there's no such thing as a perfect name for a firefighter. This firefighter's name is Lieutenant Les McBurney. Les
Oh,
McBurney. Oh, Chaco, this guy. Yeah.
See, they got it. I'm just stupid.
You're so predictable. You don't take,
Did
you
not.
don't take the time to
to
figure
let
out.
it sink in. But listen, I'm clueless that way. Even out in public, I'm like, hey, why'd that guy do that? And then like 2 hours later, you go, oh, there was that thing on the door. Okay.
Why'd that guy take my car? He's a valet. Chuck. It's okay.
Dude, where's my car? Oh my God. Okay, here you go.
This was from Leanne. It says,
Lily sent this.
yeah, it's a billboard, and it says, if you wouldn't drink dog milk, why would you drink cow's milk? Please try vegan. And this is literally a woman suckling on the teat of a Jack Russell Terrier. So, you know, just making a point.
And it's also a PETA ad.
Yeah, supposedly.
Yes,
I'm pretty sure
supposedly.
they
It might
have
be a guy. Yeah.
Florence Joyner over there sucking on the teeth
Yeah,
of
for
a
the
Jack
people
Russell.
that aren't in Spotify that can't see it. Be glad you can't see it. It's kind of disturbing to see the way she's got that teat in her mouth. It's and it's a Jack
She's
Russell.
palming that Jack Russie. You see that? Like one-hander?
She's totally.
Yeah, it's nice. I like that.
She was palming it one hander. It was crazy. That was a good one.
Oh, I love this one. I wasn't sure if you would put this one up here. I just thought it was funny.
We were talking about kissing the hot dog tip before you eat it last
Yeah,
time. Remember?
That's true. So this is two hot dog people, and the hot dog wife is in bed, and
Mr. and Mrs.
hot
Hot
dog
Dog.
husband's about to get in bed, and the hot dog wife says, "Not tonight. I have ketchup." The husband says, "I guess it's chili dogs tonight." So if you didn't understand that, that implies that they're going to have anal sex. instead of
Right,
vaginal. Okay.
Right.
All right. Just want to make sure everybody understood.
Hot dog ones are good. I like that. That's what you said. It's a hot dog guy and a hot dog girl. Yeah.
Yeah. I had to really spell it out for the people that aren't watching visually.
Here we go. The 10th annual blowjob tournament is tomorrow. We ask that you please do not attend so a girl can win this year. Thanks, champ.
Dude, I almost sent you that last night.
No way.
Yeah.
That's a good one, right?
Yeah.
Annual blowjob contest. They're like, guys, can we let the girls win this time? Yeah. Pretty shitty.
Because a guy would be like, how could a girl do what a guy knows wants even better? Like, there's always that like argument. It's like, I probably, but I'm cool, man. Thank you.
I guarantee you. Yeah, never mind. I don't think
Yeah,
any
no,
of that. Yeah. This one was kind of fun. I love this one, and I'm pretty sure I found this, so I'm hoping it's going to be a surprise for you. But check out Sir Rod Stewart. 50 years ago, this man introduced the world to 11 herbs and spices that changed the fast food world forever. And it's Rod Stewart with the Colonel's white jacket, black tie, and he does look like Colonel Chicken, doesn't he? Or Colonel Rooster with that hair.
So I know that Auntie Joanne watches this on occasion, but don't you see a similarity between Rod Stewart and Aunt Joanne?
No.
What? Seriously, look at the eyes and the hair, dude.
She's going to kill you.
I know. I made her watch this when they were over here a couple weeks ago.
She's
with you
going
and
to
I.
kill you. Did she like it?
They, were like, why do you guys talk about poop a lot? Like, yeah, it's kind of our thing.
They're like, there's some disgusting shit on there.
Yeah.
So you sent me this one, hilarious. It's a picture of the cast of Gilligan's Island and the bottle that
Oh,
they
right.
of shore years ago when they got stuck on the island finally comes back and they're all reading it and it says the bottle came back. The note says, "Stay where you are. The U.S. has gone crazy." And
Right.
that is hilarious because all they wanted was to get off that island. And there were a couple of episodes where you thought they would, but then you knew they're not getting off the island.
I don't think they actually wanted to get off that island. I think it was all a ruse.
You think?
Yeah, I mean, imagine being an overweight skipper,
Maybe
and
it is a ruse.
nerdy first mate. Like, this is
Yeah.
your only opportunity to get some,
The movie star and the professor. And
Oh, dude, I'm talking about Thurston Howell's wife, dude. Yeah, that's where it's at.
It's all lovely. That shit was
Yeah, bend
hilarious.
me over and give it to me. Yeah,
No, I like how the skipper was like, "Hey, little buddy, why did you go get little buddy? You're being creepy. Don't call me little buddy."
maybe he was intimidated and he called him little buddy because he'd seen him in the hammock before.
In the hammock and in the shed. The
Right.
fuck shed. The fuck shed.
Shit, baby, fuck shit. Fuck, baby, that's where it's at.
I missed the B-52s. They were quite amusing there for a minute. They were in the Flintstone movie. Do you remember?
I do.
Who else was in the Flintstone movie? A very huge movie star. Played the
John
mother-in-law.
Goodman, Rick Moranis, Rosie O'Donnell, and Elizabeth
That's it. Elizabeth Taylor.
Taylor.
Oh, Elizabeth
well,
Perkins.
she was Betty's mom, or
Right? Mother-in-law, but Elizabeth Perkins, who you're talking about, was Wilma. And I spent about 2 hours talking to that lady at Gate 5 at Warner Brothers one day, and I loved her because of Big. She's in Big with Tom
I
Hanks.
was going to say, but like every person that was the age Tom Hanks was supposed to be, aka
Right.
my age when that movie came out, like had a crush on Elizabeth Perkins. Like, you imagine, like we're in a limo, and then she's like, "Should we go back to your place?" You're like, "Ah, but trampoline, yes."
Hey, but I get to be on top on the bunk
Yeah.
bed. Yeah.
And
That
she
was
was
a good
like,
movie.
"Okay," like, yeah,
She was
she wanted to get nailed, bro. Like,
Yeah. Josh
I like it.
Baskin. Josh
yeah,
Baskin. Yeah.
I like me some Elizabeth P, bro.
Yeah. And I like when his little friend in Big, his best friend comes to him after he's all grown up and he's in this office in the desktop and he goes, "You're a piece of shit. And he's just yelling at him and shit. And he's like this little dude. And it's so funny, dude.
Yeah.
Shimmy, shimmy, Cocoa Pop. Shimmy, shimmy, Cocoa Pop.
Sock me in the stomach 3 more times.
Hey, by the way, I wanted to tell you about this because I think it's something we should check out. They do a testicle festival every year in Olean, Missouri. This one is Saturday, June 17th. Now, the testicle, this is not AI. This is not Photoshop. Because I researched it and check it out. The festival includes deep fried cattle and bull testicles known as Rocky Mountain oysters. Dinner will be served from noon until sold out and includes chicken gizzards, baked bean slaw, and rolls. Attendees can expect music, a cash bar, a gun raffle, which is my favorite, and clothing and apparel sales. You must go to the Testicle Festival.
Okay, like over the years, we've heard so much about these Rocky Mountain oysters, right? And people rave about them. Like, would you try them?
No, never.
Will you try new foods, Chuck?
No, never.
Yes, we know.
I
But
won't.
how many times did I dupe you over the weekend while you were here with sugar-free things?
That kind of stuff is different. You're talking about like I'm not eating no cow balls.
But if I told you what it was, you would never have eaten it. You had keto-friendly hamburger buns, sugar-free creamer for your coffee. You had several things that. Yeah, but if I had told you, you would be like, "Oh no, Chucko doesn't like that." He'd go to third person real quick. Chucko doesn't do that.
Is Leanne laughing in the background?
Yeah. But she knows too. She's been around.
So the reason I can't, people want to dupe me with that kind of shit. When we were kids, we were poor. My mother would try and take powdered milk and mix it with real milk because we couldn't afford.
Nana did that, and you could taste it.
And as kids would like pour our Cheerios out and pour that milk in it, and instantly Instantly, the very first spoonful of cereal would be all, no, it is not real milk. And my mother would be all, shut up and eat it, or whatever. Poor.
Nana would say, "Taste the same, taste the same," and she'd repeat herself like, "Taste the same, taste the same." No, it tastes like water with Cheerios.
Did you notice? Yeah, it did taste like water. And did you notice they never drank it? They never ate it.
Dude,
They're
did
like,
you
come on.
notice that box of Carnation instant milk was in the garage for like 30 years?
5 years.
Yeah,
Yes.
it was in that little shelf when you went out to the garage of like,
Don't
if
get us
there's
wrong.
ever a nuclear war, this is stuff you
Food, but you
need.
have to check the dates on stuff in her house, especially milk.
Mhm.
Especially milk. What do we got here? Oh, I love this. So it's showing a repairman coming to fix the toilet, and oh no, he put the new toilet in, and the owner goes, "There's no handle," and he goes, "You need to download the Flush Me app." And that's about where our world's getting. Your house. That'll be your
I was
house.
just gonna say that because I was showing you the different, smart features I have in my house. Well, I came out to the garage to come do this podcast with you, and I said, "Oh, I don't want to say it because it'll happen," but I told the smart Google to turn on the lights in the garage, and it's like, "I'm sorry, I can't connect to Wi-Fi." Blah blah blah.
Way.
Oh man, what the hell? Well, we had a power outage a couple of days ago, and I think that might have been it.
Oh, it reset it maybe.
Yeah, so I'm like, "Leanne, come out here. I got to do the podcast, and the lights won't turn on." Like, normal person could just turn on the switches, but I'm like, I can't tell the thing to do the thing.
You guys, when we were up there a couple of weeks ago, I might have brought it up on the podcast when we were doing it there, but their house is all hooked up to this shit. They talked to their house, and I told them their house is going to take them hostage at some point. All these metal windows are going to go and close down and lock them inside, and it's going to be like a fucking movie.
I just laugh because people are like, "Yeah, we don't have those because we don't trust them listening," and boom, boom, boom. I'm like, you still have a cell phone, you still have a laptop, you still have a tablet, you still have every other thing. They're always listening.
Oh,
Trust
you mean
me.
electronics? Yeah, of course.
Right.
It is kind of stupid.
I just have a lot of things listening. That's all.
Hey, this one cracked me up. I know it's going to crack you up. I know it's going to crack you up. So, 2 tigers sitting in a hot tub just shooting the shit. One tiger says to the other, "Like I was saying, the circus is just one of my careers. The real money comes from Frosted Flakes." And you know why it comes from Frosted Flakes?
I would think something to do with jizz.
It's because they're great.
You timed that really well. Good job.
Granted, Frosted Flakes are the best.
No, you remember the old Tony Tiger? Oh, they're great.
But
No,
remember, like, Wheaties were supposed to be good for you, but like Frosted Flakes is just Wheaties with sugar already added to it.
okay, so Wheaties, they put all the sports people on the box, right?
Yeah.
It was on there more than anybody, Bruce Jenner. Forever, right?
You're
Now he's
messing with the voice thing. Yeah, so he got that foodie flake going on. Shit.
He's trying to put it back. Oh, everything here. Everything will be fine.
I like Frosted Flakes too.
Frosted Flakes are the best. So this is great. This was a meme I saw today, and actually it just looks like a picture where they're always honoring a child for doing the right thing instead of doing the wrong thing. And he's with a police officer, and he's holding up a certificate and says, "Boy turns in bag he found with $12,000 cash inside." Geez, I pray my kids aren't this fucking stupid. I would literally teach my kid, if you find a bag with 12 grand, you keep it. You
You
keep
sit
it.
on it for a little while.
You
Make
sit
sure
on
there's no noise. And then after maybe a couple months, you make some small
this.
purchases.
You saw this movie called A Simple Plan with Billy Bob Thornton and Bill
Yeah, we watched
Paxton.
that when it first came out.
When they take the money and it's like, that much money belongs to somebody. Oh, you're doing a shot. Look at that.
Number 3, you're not even paying attention. How many mochas have you had, judgmental?
I just want to say to all the men out there that are battling masturbation addiction, I hope you beat it. I'm going to put that on a t-shirt.
Speaking of masturbation and t-shirts, anybody at your work been showing up with jizz stains on their t-shirts anymore?
This week, we've I think
Okay,
we've covered
Because I
that
thought
now.
maybe if we addressed it here on the podcast, that maybe it would be like a
Okay.
PSA for like
But
stop showing up to work would come on your shirt.
yeah, I think all the guys that watch my podcast probably heard that and said, "Oh shit, let me start checking my shit."
Yeah, I
before
hope
do
so.
that." Yeah.
Because I assume they're not the bartender, aka they're preparing food. Like, cool, man. I want come crusty t-shirt to make my fucking chicken wings.
The smegma, you guys need to check your stuff. You're young boys. You need to like get a crunchy sock or something and use it. Yeah,
Yeah,
I said
you
that
know.
before. Yeah. Hey, I know you remember, and I already sent it to you this week, but I want to show it to the viewers. I told you guys before, one of my favorite Star Trek jokes was, what did Spock find in the toilet? The captain's log. And then I found this meme this week, and I was like, oh my God, look at his face.
Yeah.
And he's pushing.
Well, the funny thing is, I felt like when you sent that to me that you were taking a dump. Like, you're like, I'm taking a dump. Oh, that's right, Captain's log. I got to send this to Matt. Like,
I probably was, because I do not go to the bathroom without my phone, as does anyone else in the world anymore today.
I actually have a little toilet paper dispenser that has like a shelf on it for your phone so you can watch it while you're on it.
Yeah.
Let me tell you why.
That would be good.
I explained to Leanne that when I'm on the toilet, I would put my phone in my underwear. Like I'm sitting down, I'm looking down. It's a nice little like basket for my
No,
phone.
you don't.
And Leanne's like, that's disgusting. And I said, what do you mean? Like my butt's clean. And she's like, no, it doesn't matter. You sweat.
She's all, no,
this and that."
it's not clean.
I said, it's not the part I'm talking to. It's the back of it. You know, I tried to explain it. And next thing I know, we had a new toilet paper dispenser that has a shelf for your phone.
No way. She went and got you one?
Yeah,
No.
because she was pretty upset about how I was putting my phone in.
Okay, so honestly, though, I have friends that have cats, and they say that they let their cat lay in their boxers while they're sitting there taking a shit. So
Oh, really?
maybe.
Yeah, I know someone that does that.
I know it's ridiculous, but and I'm not a cat lover, but and I don't think I'd let my cat lay in my boxers while I'm pooping, but you know.
What do you mean?
Here we are again. Here we are again with the poop. We can't just do poop.
We barely even grazed the poop this time.
Maybe I should change the name of the podcast to the Poop Podcast. Let's talk poop. No.
Well, we
That's not
need
good.
more people to write in their stories. And I'm really disappointed that we've only got one. Thank you again, Alex.
Alex Marshall, let's bring him up again. Yep. Yeah. His wife was very cruel about it, which was hilarious too.
Yeah. I have
Okay.
a friend that. Oh, you
Yeah.
got to meet Sarah Miller, right?
She was there that day. I remember Sarah
Well,
Miller.
she's got a great story.
Saving
and
Sarah Miller.
I keep telling her that
She has a
needs
poop
to
story?
write in.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, next time she's over, if it happens to be podcast night, slide her in here and let's get her story. Do you
Right.
think she'd do it? Think she'd
Yeah.
broadcast it?
Given the right amount of alcohol.
Let's get some people over to Sarah Miller's house and see what. She's going to be like, hell no. Okay, I want to share this because it's a little antidote I found, and I found it pretty interesting. This is not something I think is super funny or anything, but it's super crazy interesting. So Woodstock, right, going back. On the third day of Woodstock Festival, just before Joe Cocker's early afternoon set, Matt Yasgur addressed the crowd. I'm a farmer. I don't know how to speak to 20 people at one time, let alone a crowd like this, but I think you people have proven something to the world. Not only did the town of Bethel or Sullivan County or New York State, you've proven something to the world. This is the largest group of people ever assembled in one place. We had no idea there would be this size of a group. And because of that, you've had quite a few inconveniences as far as water, food, and so forth. Your producers have done a mammoth job to take care or see that you're taken care of. They'd enjoy a vote of thanks. But above that, the important thing is that you've proven to the world is that 500,000 kids, and I call you kids because I have children older than you, 500,000 young people can get together and have 3 days of fun and music and have nothing but fun and music. And I God bless you for it. Martin Scorsese down in front, inside the fence line in this picture, returning the peace sign to Max. Max died 4 years after this at age 53. That's pretty interesting. Especially when you, what?
It's funny because it's one of those things where if you don't live on the East Coast or you don't live on the West Coast, you don't know about like the geography of places, right? So
Right.
to me, where in New York is there a place where you could have a festival on, property like that
Right.
huge? Like that's weird. And if you've ever, I know you've traveled quite a bit, but like if you go somewhere way far away from California and you say something about California, the first thing they say is, do you see movie stars all the time? Are you a surfer?
Oh,
And you're like, what? No, dude, that's like a SoCal thing, whatever.
Well, I mean, when I moved, what was it, to Oregon and wherever I moved, Georgia, when I went to Georgia years ago in my 20s, they thought, they're like, oh, you guys have swimming pools and movie stars out there? Like, no, I don't live in Hollywood and stuff. Of course, then cut to years later, and I did live in Hollywood. I remember Nathan's girlfriend telling him one time, you're not going to go down there and see movie stars every day. And it's like, that's kind of exactly what's
right. But how many times have you made the drive from Northern California to Southern California? And in between there is nothing but agriculture. It's just farmland after farmland, after ranch, after ranch, after nothing.
Or like that little patch, that little area with all the cows as you're coming up from LA before you hit Visalia, and it smells like fucking cow shit, and you're like this, putting your shirt under your.
That is Visalia. We just acclimated to it.
Yeah. Oh no, for real. I remember when Dad first built his house, we'd be out there at the pool, and we're like, it smells like poo.
Yeah. And then the next day, you're like, I don't smell poo. I live here now. It's fine.
Yeah.
I love poo smell.
I am the poo.
Yeah.
I am the poo.
But that's what I think. The majority of California is just agriculture like that. Farmland, cows, and people like California, surfers, movie stars. Like, that's a very small part of it.
Everyone thinks if you live up in Yuba City that you're down there in Hollywood, jumping off the clubs.
I am, but not everybody.
Hey, another fun podcast. We're going to end it tonight with one of my favorite things that has now become a regular with my cousin Matt, and it shall be going forward because they are the ones that make me laugh the most. Matt has a thing that he does called the Mexican word of the day. We can say that because we're Mexican or Portuguese. We're Porto-Mex. Actually, you are
Porto-Mexican.
Porto-Mexican. So, Mexican word of the day this week. And I'm going to let Matt read it off to you guys. Here we go.
Mexican word of the day, I smoke up. I have a bad memory because I smoke a lot of weed. Now, notice how I said ja, 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 because the J is pronounced like an H in Spanish.
It was just hilarious. And actually, the I Smoke one worked for me. I thought that was fucking great, dude. I love the Mexican words of the day. I was trying to remember the very first one he did because it was pretty funny. It wasn't the chicken fingers.
No,
that was last
wheelchair.
time. Oh, it was. Hey, you couldn't remember it when we were doing it live from your garage. We couldn't remember. Remember.
Studies show that if you go back to blackout drunk, you can remember everything you didn't remember when you were blackout.
You got that right. Wow. That's our Mexican word of the day. That's our podcast for this week. I'm Chuck Oliveris. That's my cousin Matt up in Sacramento. He'll be on a lot now because it just seems to be funnier with him. You guys don't like me as much anymore. Apparently you like him. So vote for him. Do your thing there. And one more thing I just want to say to everybody this week before we leave is life moves by pretty fast. If you don't look around once in a while, you just might miss it. You have a great week, everybody. What's that quote from, Matt? Life moves pretty fast. You don't look around once in a while. You just might miss it. Ferris Bueller!
He killed someone.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did.
He was drinking with a curb.
It was in Ireland. He ran
someone. Don't talk bad about Matthew Broderick. We'll see you next week, everybody. Have a great week.
Matthew Broderick killed someone.
I'm going to look it up. I'm going to look it up. Look you up.
He did. Look it up. I fucking told you.
I fucking
He's a
told you.
murderer.
I told you, motherfucker.
I told you. He's a murderer.